All right. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I look frozen over here. All right. Tell me if you can hear me, if you can copy. Anybody else out there? Let me know in the comments if y'all can see me, if you can hear me, if everything is kind of moving along. Let me know. Because right now it's not. Okay, there we go. We finally there. All right. Telling me anything yet, so I'm guessing I'm okay. Guys, but over here, is it frozen over there? Sully, what you see? Okay, I just can't see me moving. Okay. I'm like, let's go with that. Honey, come on in, come on in, come on in. Man, what a day. What a day it has been, y'all. Come on. It's Monday, though. It's Monday, Monday, and Monday. Woo, y'all. Baby. I have to take a deep breath sometimes, It is such a amazing day. Let me tell you how my day started. Um, so I had to leave work early because, of course, it's moving day. It's moving day, and I ended up with a screw in my tire, and not like a little screw. No, it was one of the thick. I don't know, like carpenter type of screws. I don't know, but it was a big one. And then I had to get two tires replaced. What a day. All these things happen, especially when you're talking about moving the unexpected, right? So we're going to jump this thing off right. Welcome. I know we are starting rather late, but we are still here. There's always technical difficulties. It's been a difficult day. It's been a trying day. The enemy has been on 1,000 today, but to God be the glory. I'm so glad that y'all are able to come. So, welcome to Real Resilient Conversations. I'm your host. I'm the one that they graciously call Miss Quita. Miss Quita does this. I do this every second and fourth Monday of the month. What we do is that we take unique, quirky topics and we make sure that you find a way to be more resilient in your day to day life. And so, oh goodness. Okay, I thought I heard something. So, because life doesn't stop, neither do we. And so we do this on whether it is live, you watch it on rebroadcast. I want you to find somebody, get snuggled up, make sure that you kick your shoes off, go get your snacks, come on back, and let's relax for a little bit. I got something good for you. Thank you, Mr. Ron, for letting me know that you can hear me um, and that you can see me, I'm guessing. I know. I know. So my assignment really is to empower. Today was a test of my resiliency, I promise you. And I did my best to remind myself to use my tools, work with what I can, and when I can't, understand that it just happens that way, and that there's a reason that it's happening, and to just be gracious that you have the opportunity to still utilize your the tool of patience. All right. So I'm honored that you have given us 30 minutes of your time. I know that it is very, very important to utilize time wisely. So we're going to continue on. If this is your first time joining, welcome. I do apologize for the tardiness. However, I promise to give you all of the goodness that I have in store for you. I really want you all to not miss out. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. If not, someone else. And that way we won't miss out on the next episode that comes and those that follow. All right. Make sure you hit the notification bell. I don't want you to feel like that one and nobody told you. All right. So if someone else is needing the information, like I said, please, please, please go out and share. But while you're doing that, I want you all to check out this book. Can you all see it? Maybe it's blue. I know it blends in with the background. Anyways, there is a journal that my business partner has out right now, and it's called Hey Sis, You Good. And this is available on Amazon. So I want y'all to go check this out. Hey sis, you good? If not for you, get it for your friend, your sister, your mom, your wife, your cousin, right? This is a great start to journaling and understanding how journaling can really change your life and for those ahead. And I know you all probably can't see it, but there's a little in there that Miss Quita did, as this is my business partner, and he did allow me to put a little snippet in there. You check this out. It's called Hey Sis, You Good? Get to journaling. Get to journaling. For those of you who have a hard time sleeping, get to journaling. All right. He has some helpful sites back here in the back. If I can get my finger to turn to it. 10 national hotlines, and it has it for, and this is all about women, right? Women's wellness, women's health, mental health. All of that is located in the very back of the book. So I don't want you all to miss it. Go and check it out on Amazon. It's called Hey Sis, You Good? All right. So, all right. Now I see a couple people in here. We're going to keep this thing moving. So if this is the first time you join in, what I want you to do is just check out a little bit of my resilient conversation crew there. All right. We take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I'm going to ask a question, and I want you to answer honestly and truthfully. Okay. So today is talking about today's topic is it's moving day. So how many of y'all used to watch Full House growing up? Anybody? So do you remember the episode where they were getting ready to move and she was packing up her room and she kept singing, it's moving day, it's moving day. Hey baby, hey. That's how I felt. That's all I kept saying whenever I was thinking about today's topic. And because whenever it's time to move, there's a lot when it's time to move, right? And things that we don't even think that we need until you're moving and you're like, oh goodness, I need them, right? And because there are a lot of things, we're going to move in some directions today. I really am going to try and give you a lot, but I know I can only give you like the first half, which is why we have 2 episodes a month. So I can give you the second half, right? So whenever you're thinking about moving day, what does that have to do with your resiliency? So in the comment section below, let me know what you think moving has to do with resiliency. And of course, the boxes kind of give it away, the type of things that you'll need whenever you are talking about um, when you're talking about getting or starting your oh, let me see, Adonis, you said packing up everything, then unpacking everything. That is the daunting task that I am in the process of, and I'm sure it will be all the way through the end of the year. I'm sure I'll be unpacking. But this is exactly that, packing up the things of my life, the things of the last 20, 25 years, packing it and getting ready to throw away things, which we'll talk about, and unpacking it. Unpacking the necessary things in life is what it'll boil down to, right? So the first thing we want to start out with is mindfulness. We really want to talk about being mindful. We want to pay attention to our intuitive grudges, the things that's kind of nudging us, right? And make sure that we're listening to the things of how we can become utilize gratitude and self-love and the area of compassion, right? All of these things are just the starting point when it comes to your resiliency and when it comes to moving. And so on your checklist, because that's the first thing that they need, right? List. And I know it's some of you that hate checklists, but I love, 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 love checklists because checklists help keep me organized and help keep me on task. And so the first thing that most checklists tell you to get when you're talking about your supplies first thing is going to be your boxes, right? As you see behind me, your boxes are so importante, right? And you'll need different types of boxes, right? You can't use a big box for your small very priceless china or whatnot, right? Whenever you're talking about it, you have to really think, what type of box do I need, right? Having the right box for the right item or the right situation, the right situation, the right people, and the right experiences. That's what I mean when you're talking about boxes. There are certain boxes, right, that you're like, I don't let you out this box because I know where you belong, right? And I put you in this box because now you have shown me your colors, right? Understanding that there are some experiences that you're like, oh, I can never tell anybody. So I'm going to put that in the box of, let's put that all the way to the back. They'll find that after my transition type of things, right? So understand that there are going to be people, situations, experiences that you'll put in various boxes when it's time to move, right? The different places that you'll go, the different things you'll do. All right. Can y'all hear me again? Maybe? All right. Y'all can hear me. Ooh, I don't know what happened. The mic has just decided it wanted to quit today. The devil is busy. He's a liar today. Ooh, the grace of God. All right. So Adonis, he said over here in Instagram, he said asking for help and support with the move. That I am still learning to trust people to come and help me to pack up the things of my life in the right boxes. Right. And ask for that help and that support. So more so, let me pack up the items of my life in the right boxes. And I just want your support and your help in transporting it to the right place. Does that make sense? Does that all right? Yes. And so the next thing, of course, would be box cutters. So what happens if you have something that's not right, or you may need to manipulate your box, right? It won't fit quite right, so now you have to manipulate and create a space, but still utilizing the box. You'll need a box cutter. Your box cutter is also useful for getting into something as soon as possible, right? You need to get inside somewhere. You need to be able to open. Then guess what? To get to and really get to that knowledge and understanding of what you need, sometimes to cut away the very thing that's holding it in place. There are people and places and things in our lives that need to be cut away in order for us to get to the blessing that is within. Does that make sense? That makes sense so far? All right. So the next will be the shrink wrap. How many of y'all remember shrink wrap? Did y'all use it, or did y'all just see the movers use it? Probably just seen the movers use it. However, along the years, the movers have left me shrink wrap. So with that, I continue to utilize the shrink wrap. Shrink wrap, it helps to hold the things together, and also it keeps things closed that need to be closed. So if you're thinking about, are there times in your life that you need to keep your mouth closed? It needs to be shrink wrapped, right? Are there areas in your life that don't close right now? It needs to say shut off from the rest of the world. It needs to be shrink wrapped. Okay. And I know tape can be used sometimes with this as well, but shrink wrap is useful. That is the point of having the shrink wrap, while the tape has a different use. Could be utilized for that, but that's not the use, right? Next would be the labels. And with labels, I know that some people, y'all don't buy labels. You just write on the box. I do a little bit of both, depending on if I have other people helping me. I know that it is easier for them to look at the label. If it's just me, I'm just going to write on the box. So that is a different thing. However, labels help you to know who and what you should keep, trash, or donate, right? So that's people, places, things, experiences, situations, what needs to be trashed and what needs to be kept, what needs to be donated. All of that happens over time with understanding what label you have put on that person, that situation, right? I really want you all to remember the labels that you have attached to those things in your life. Markers are useful for making sure that you can write down exactly where they need to go, what needs to happen to them on that label. So now they have a label, but if it's a blank label, how is that helpful? How is that helpful for understanding? Go, all right? Its location after it leaves from the current destination and it goes to the next. Where does it need to go? And so utilizing the packing paper within your box is usually to protect the smaller fragile things. So if you're thinking about the things in your life that are fragile within you, things that you're like, oh, that's not a big thing, it's not anything major. However, it still needs to be protected. Your heart, your emotions, your feelings, those things that somebody might think are little, but somebody else thinks that it's the big thing, right? It just depends on your view of your love language, what you need in order to feel heard, to feel loved and appreciated and accepted. All of that plays a factor into what you would use your packing paper to protect. But bubble wrap protects the larger things, right? The larger items within your life that you feel are fragile, yet heavy. So it weighs heavy on your thoughts, heavy on your mind, heavy on your situation, right? It's heavy. So you would like to bubble wrap that. You still want to protect it, but it's heavy. It takes more out of you if something was to be damaged, right? When it comes to it. Does that make sense? The furniture, blankets, the pads, all of those things are used as protection, right? And it's because these come with the heavier challenges that are in life. You're going to need the protection because the heavier things that are coming with the challenges, you're going to need the protection from the sharp edges, from making sure that if it bumps up against something, it's not damaged, right? But having the moving containers, the moving bags are all things that are making life easier for you to transport or transition from one point A to point B or to point B, C, D, E, and F. But it makes it a whole lot easier. You have something to carry those feelings, those emotions, those situations, right? Experiences in. Utilizing cargo straps and the ropes are, yeah, for those of you, make sure and keep your mind pure, right? These are holding down the experiences, ideas, right? That hold you down. So sometimes holding it down is to keep it in place. Other times it is holding you back so that it does not, or holding back, say, your boxes, holding back your dressers, holding back the items so that the way they don't move, and you don't want them to move because now it shifts and now it can damage something else. How many of you have things in your life that if you don't protect it, you don't hold it back, right? You might have some friends that are ready, always ready to pop off. You give it to them, they ready, right? You gotta hold them back because what they do to damage someone else, and now it has put them as well as the other person in a situation that they shouldn't be in. Right, so utilizing those cargo straps and ropes appropriately. Tools. If you go on your checklist and it tells you to keep your tools, why do you need your tools? Right? Why do you need your tools? You're thinking about now you got to take apart your dining room table. Now all of a sudden something is broken. You need to fix it before they come and pick it up. All of a sudden the leg fell off. Of one of your chairs, right? You need to keep your tools. What I'm giving you now are just some ideas to keep in mind for your tools, to keep in your tool belt when it comes to you moving from where you are now to your higher self, or moving where you are now to your next opportunity, moving from where you are now to your next location, wherever you are moving from to go to. These are simply tools. All right. Last thing that I will mention or so would be the garbage bags. I bought a big box of garbage bags. And that is because there are things in my life that need to go in the trash that do not need to be transferred over to the new destination. It just doesn't need to go there, right? We have to think about the areas of our life that needs to be trashed. And sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's business partners, sometimes it's, the people that you are in relationship with. When it comes to money, when it comes to family, when it comes to intimacy, right? When it comes to friendships, all of these partnerships, friendships may be on the chopping block if it is causing more damage than it is causing good. And then put it in the garbage bag, throw as you go is what I say, right? And then that make sure that when it's time for you to move to your next place, it's nothing that is causing, you don't want to be the bag lady that's being held back, right? Or the bag man. So how do you know when it's time to move? Of course, it's time to reinvest in yourself. It's new opportunities. What you consider home is no longer home. It is now, it feels like it's a prison. These are the times that now you're like, okay, yeah, it's time for me to go. You're lacking in your growth. You've outgrown where you currently are. Your family is expanding. Now you're having children. You have a spouse. You're taking care of your family members, right? You've outgrown it. There are times that you're going to reach a goal, and guess what? Now you've outgrown everything that it took to get to that goal. Now that you've reached it, you've outgrown it. It's time for you to grow more to get to the next stage of your goals, right? Or the next goal in itself. If you are still procrastinating, if you are not, or if you're avoiding procrastination and avoidance, I know for me that is a area that I need to move in. Uh, so at the end of the month, I promised you all that you will get exactly what I've been promising you. Your, oh goodness. So your journal is going to be out by the end of the month. And I feel so conflicted, right? Because I'm moving. But it's time to move, right? And the procrastination cannot stop the goal, right? The avoidance cannot stop the goal, right? And so I can't allow my own selfish thoughts to hold us back from getting to and reaching our goals. It's time for me to move, right? Uh, if your priorities are out of whack, you're exhausted, you feel burnout, it's time for you to move. And maybe even that move might be a vacation, that move might be out of the situation that you're in, that move might be having a conversation. Figure out what your move is, right? When you feel more pain than you feel joy, it's time to move. When you feel disconnected, detached, alone, it's time to move. It's time to when you feel that the relationships are not authentic anymore, that they are deceiving, they are deceptive. These are all times where it's time for you to move away from that person, move away from being in that connection, disconnect yourself from people like that. Your outlook of the world now feels skewed. It may be time for you to move. I was talking with someone on yesterday, and Mr. James told me, he said, when you grow up in a certain place and all you know is that one area, then that is exactly how you perceive the world. So for people that have never left out of their city that they grew up in, that is their perception of the entire world. But for those that are well traveled, you've been to different countries, different cities, you've got to experience different cultures. Then it was like, oh goodness, the world is so beautiful and so amazing and so vast. And there's so much that we are limited to just staying here in this one location. If I ever had the opportunity to be a blessing to someone, I would take someone from the projects or the ghetto and I would just take them on a 30-day tour to different cultures. And I would say, I want you to look, listen, right? Because now it's going to change the perception of the world. If you are a caged animal, all you know is to stay within that cage, right? But I want you all to think about is now it's time to move, because if you stay where you are yet another caged person, and now you're limiting yourself. It's time for you to move. All right, so Pastor Daniels, he said, oh goodness, let me get it right. You have to give up to go up, and that requires faith. Give up who you are, what you are, where you thought that you were supposed to go in order to get exactly where God has you to go. It requires faith, though, because it doesn't look like the plans that you have in store, right? You plan on being over this age and still single. I'm sure those of us that are over the age of 40 and you're still single, you're like, this is not a part of my plan. However, this gives you the opportunity to really think about, do I have faith to allow God to move? Right? That I watched, and it really spoke volumes to me. She said, lay your hand on your head, and she said, um, oh, no, maybe no, it wasn't intuitively. Logically, that's what it said. Why do I want this? You have to ask yourself, what is it that I really want and why? She said, and write it down. Write it down, take 5. And then she said, put your hand on it. Why do I want this? Is this what I really want and why? Write it down. She said, take 5 deep breaths, put your hand on your belly. And she said, do I really want to do this? And why? And write it down. This gives you the opportunity, if you're in alignment, all of your aspects now line up according to what you need to do. Guess what? Now that puts you at a higher place of going on the right. If it does not, now you need to change your way of thinking. Maybe you need to change or the way that you are doing certain situations because it's not getting you where you want to be. And that's something I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to balance in my own life, right? And you all know that I am a hot speaker, meaning that I'm honest, open, and transparent. That's the type of speaking that I like. I don't like that I have already arrived. Absolutely not. I like to be honest with you and let you know that there are times that I am still struggling to understand these various levels of me and if they align versus we have gone over time, guys. I know it. I'm sorry. So now that we have gone over time, I want you all to really think about today's topic. I only gave you the first half because we just don't have enough time. But I really want you to think about what was spoken on today and the checklist of your life. Do you have what it takes in order for you to have a successful move from this level of your life to the next? From this location of your spiritual walk to this, from this level of your mental health to the next. Do you have what is necessary in order for you to be successful? All right, so I hope that I said something that has jump started your resiliency. We will be back again on 26th of August. Is it 26th? Yes, 26th of August. We're going to continue on with the episode or with the series for It's Time to Move. I hope that you're excited about your move. I hope that you're excited about what God has in store for you. It always looks a little bumpy along the way, but trust the process is what they continue to tell me, what I continue to believe. Trust the process. Trust the way that we are moving and understand why. If you stay stagnant, if you stay where you are, is that going to help you to reach your goals? All right, so you come back, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you hit the notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on the 26th. I know that's 2 weeks and you all get all confused about when I'm on, when I'm not. So make sure that you jump back on here. I hope I have said tonight's show that has really shown you the tools to use for your day-to-day life. So until then, love, joy, peace, and happiness, I pray unto you until we meet again. See y'all next time.